I don't know if you know, normally, we're sitting here and we don't make the news, but this past week, Charles, I don't know if you know, but you've been in the news for some comments you made on our last show. Do you remember, dear, what you said?
I do remember what I said.
Okay, we'll roll tape.
If I see a black person walking around with Trump mugshot, I'm gonna punch him in the face.
Charles.
No, Gail.
Charles.
Gail.
You really can't say that because you don't mean that.
Oh, I mean that sincerely.
But if you see somebody, a black person with a Donald Trump,
I'm gonna punch him right in the eye.
Punch him in the face.
Gail, I promise you.
I would bail you out. I would bail you out.
You're not gonna be my first call.
No, it's so funny because before I took this show, before we agreed, because Charles and I, we have to say this, neither one of us were looking for another job. And CNN called and they had this great idea, you and I together, which I thought was really fun. And people said, aren't you worried about things Charles would say? And I said to you, you're a grown-ass man. You say exactly what you think, and you take responsibility for everything you say.
Yes.
And so it's not like you just willy-nilly say stuff for clickbait, right?
I always know the response, and I always know how much gasoline I'm putting on the fire.
Okay.
Of course.
So in that vein, that clip that you all just saw has been seen millions of times, and there have been quite a few articles written about it, and that's before we even get to the social media comments, which look a lot like this gentleman. He's very large. He's wearing a mugshot, of the T-shirt, or photoshops of large men wearing the T-shirt that say, "I hear Charles Barkley's looking for me." They all think that you are ready to run around punching people who vote for Donald Trump. Now, I know when you say that was just you making a point. That's not something you would literally do going around attacking people, right?
Well, let me say, is this my camera right there? I want to make sure people can hear me.
Yeah.
Number one, obviously, I'm not gonna go around punching random strangers in the face, first and foremost. Secondly, people can vote for who they want to.
Yes.
People can vote for who they want to. The point I was trying to make.
There you go.
No, the point I was making. I wasn't trying to make it.
Okay.
When Donald Trump compares his plight with that of the black person,
Yes.
that is what I had a problem with. Mm-hmm. Now, I do want to say this. I want to make it perfectly clear. If you're a black person and you're wearing a Donald Trump mugshot, you are a freaking idiot. And I'm only saying freaking idiot because they won't let me say what I really want to say. But you can figure it out. It starts with an F. Mm-hmm. But you are. Listen, people can vote for who they want to.
Yes.
But for him to compare his plight with that other African, I don't even like that term, the black people in America is asinine and stupid. Mm-hmm. And like I said, you guys can put on those too small T-shirts like y'all got them on. Get a big size if you're going to wear it. Don't put on a medium and act like you got muscles. But that bothered me.
That irritates.
It bothered me because for him to compare a white billionaire who is in trouble because of stuff he did.
Yes.
Not because of stuff, like black people get in trouble for stuff that happened didn't deserve to do.
Yes.
But for him to compare that to black people's plight, that's just stupid on their part. I appreciate y'all. I hope y'all got Nielsen boxes if y'all gonna wear those tight T-shirts around the house and somebody take pictures. But I do. I'll stick by what I said. If you're wearing a Trump mugshot around, you are a freaking idiot.
Mm-hmm. But you aren't going to go just randomly attack people on the street. That's the only point I want to make.
Unless they have the Trump sneakers on, too. Unless they have the Trump sneakers on, too. Now, if you got the mugshot, you got the mugshot and the Trump sneakers on, you uncross over a line that you cannot get back.
Well, they're $3.99. Some people say that's a good deal. But I was trying to help you. I said, you don't really mean that.
I'm not going to go around. I'm trying to make the point, though. I'm not going to go around punching people.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Violence is never the answer.
Exactly.
But my message is very clear. If you think Donald Trump is under the same umbrella as black people, you're just stupid.
Yeah.
But you know what, Gail? We got big announcement.
We
got to move on. We had her on last week.
Yes.
And Nikki Haley.
Before Super Tuesday, we had her on.
She had a big announcement today.
Roll tape.
The time has now come to suspend my campaign. I said I wanted Americans to have their voices heard. I have done that. I have no regrets.
Oh, many people were waiting to see if she was going to endorse Donald Trump, and she did not endorse him.
Well, she should.
So,
she
because
she insulted. She's been insulted. He was racist toward her. talking about her Indian heritage.
Yeah.
She's insulted her husband. Like, I don't care if you're a Republican or a Democrat, whatever. You can't just go with party affiliation. I think everybody should be an independent.
Yeah.
That's my personal opinion.
But this is the thing, though, Charles. Normally in politics, you know, you have the campaign, you dust it up, people say things they don't mean. But when the race is over, you normally say, okay, and now I'm going to endorse you. To her credit, people say, she did not endorse him. And the big story today was, will she or won't she? And so far, where are Nikki Haley voters going to go? When she was here, you made it clear you wanted to vote for her. You had
Yes.
some questions.
Yes.
So you would be one of those Nikki Haley voters who are now trying to figure out where to go.
Well, the reason I appreciate his attacks on her were not, they were personal.
Personal, yes.
I don't mind somebody disagree with me on a certain subject, whether it's immigration and things like that, inflation, things we really need to be talking about. But his attacks were personal. To go after her heritage, which is racist, to talk about her husband who's actually serving something he ducked. That's why that crosses the line. I have no problem with somebody disagreeing with me on a political issue.
Right.
But if you come at me personally, you can't expect me to give my support for you after the fact.
Yeah, that's a different ballgame. So now we have two candidates. It looks very much that it's going to be Donald Trump once again and Joe Biden, of course, who's our president currently. With those two choices, a lot of people have a lot of decisions to make.
Yeah, you know.
What are you thinking?
Well, I'm going to have to go with President Biden personally. I was looking for another choice, but I think President Trump, number one, he doesn't carry himself like a political leader. That's my first and foremost. I do think President Biden, I have a really serious issue with his age. I said that from the beginning. I have a real serious issue with his age. But I got two choices. And
But
President...
you're definitely going to vote, right?
Everybody should vote.
I
Everybody
agree.
should vote.
I agree.
I think it's
Everybody
like, you know,
should
people
vote.
have died in our history for us to have the right to vote. Everybody should vote.
I
And
agree.
everybody can vote for who they want to. But we all have our own decisions to make. And like right now, I don't know if anything's going to happen with Michelle Obama or Garrett Newsom. But right now, I'm probably going to lean heavily toward President
Gavin
Biden.
Newsom. Yeah, Gavin Newsom. He keeps saying he's not going to run. We'll see, but he keeps saying he's not going to. And
Yeah,
Michelle
take
Obama has made it very clear. No way, no how is she going to run.
Those two, with Michelle and Gavin, would get my vote immediately if they decided to run. It'd be
Would
perfect
they?
easily.
Gavin Newsom and Michelle Obama?
Either one of those would get my vote immediately.
Neither one of them are going to run. But this is the thing. People always say you have to vote for somebody. And I do believe that. I believe you can't just have this election and not vote and then complain about it.
I think this one is different.
Because
I voted for John Kasich, and I knew he couldn't win. But I think the disparity between these two candidates is extreme. They are really extreme. So I'm probably not going to write in somebody, but I'm probably going to have to go with President Biden.